Hi guys, Scott Franklin here from Scott Franklin Performance Coaching. I help people live awesome lives with no regrets. So today I want to talk to you about the finger lock test. So the finger lock test is designed to help you communicate with your authentic self. So some foundation concepts that you need to understand to make this technique work for you is that you've got your ego in your head and your authentic self in your heart or your stomach region. So these are the two voices that we hear inside of our body. Now the ego in our head, when you listen to this voice in here to make a life, a people or emotion decision, it ends up causing you negativity, chaos and drama, right? The voice in the head, the ego, is only designed to be a calculator. It's designed to make logical measurement and number decisions, that's it. So it's not meant for life decisions. All life decisions are meant to come from your authentic self. So you've probably heard me talk before about the authentic self and the benefits of learning how to communicate with it because it has your map for life. And the way that we connect to the voice of the authentic self or the senses that it gives us, there's a few different ways, but the one I'm going to talk to you is the finger lock test. So the finger lock test was taught to me by the awesome Belle Flowers from the Belle Flowers Clinic. And how it come about was that when I first started learning how to connect to my authentic self, the way that I was doing it wasn't very practical and simple. So I was doing it through journal writing. I was actually journal writing with my authentic self so I could practice listening to the answer. Since working with clients, I've found that not everyone can hear the voice within them. Some people sense their authentic self, so they sense a yes or no. Some people see visions. But there's also some people that are hands-on learners, like they're visual and hands-on. It's called kinesthetic learners. So they learn by hands-on and by doing. So I was talking to her about like if there's an easier way to connect with the authentic self, and she showed it to me. So where the idea comes from, if any of you have ever been to see a kinesiologist before, they do a thing called muscle testing. So basically what they do is they get you to put your arm out straight and they'll ask you a question. And if the answer is yes, they'll apply a bit of pressure and the energy inside your body will be strong if the answer is yes. And if the answer is no, it just goes weak and it kind of gives way. So I thought, okay, that makes sense to me. I've been to a kinesiologist before. I'm open to that kind of stuff. It works for me, but it's not very practical and simple. Like you can't just be needing to make the day-to-day decisions and you're at the shops deciding if you need to buy something or not and you've got your arm out here saying, should I buy this, yes or no? You could do it, but it's just not practical and simple. So I was shown the finger lock test. So how the finger lock test works is you create, with one hand, it doesn't matter which way you do it, but with one hand you create a ring. So this ring, it can't be opened up, so that's locked in place. And then the other hand you make another ring, and this is the tester finger. So it doesn't matter which finger you use, whichever's most comfortable, and you only apply a little bit of pressure. But what you want to do is you want to interlock the rings. So this is my tester one, and I'm only just applying enough pressure so that if I were to pull the rings apart, if an answer is yes, it will lock in place, and if the answer is no, the ring will break. Okay, so you test it first with your name. Go, my name's Scott, so it's nice and strong. This ring tester finger is not going to break or give way. And say my name's Fred. And I just feel it go weak and give way. So when you first try this, you'll think, oh God, am I making this up? Am I telling myself what I want to hear? It just takes practice. The more that you practice it, and the stronger your connection with your authentic self becomes, the more trust you develop with it, you'll get better and better at it the more you do it. Now, the reason that you want to practice all the time is because you want to practice small, like with your name, for example, right? My name's Scott. Yes, my name's Fred. Okay, and I just practice feeling what that feels like, what the yes feels like and what the no feels like. And then you build up with the questions that you ask it, like, you know, you basically want to develop any yes or no type question. So if there's something you want to do today, you go, should I do this today? No, okay, so I shouldn't do whatever it was I was thinking of. Or you're at the shops, should I buy this today? Yes, so the answer is yes. Now, it's never wrong, not even once. The only time people misinterpret these answers is when their button's being pushed and they've had a negative emotion activated, which is part of the ego. That will then give you an incorrect answer. You can't trust this if you're in your ego. The only time this can be trusted is if you're with your authentic self. So I would highly, highly recommend that you use my resilience techniques to learn how to switch off and release any negative emotions and any buttons you may have had pushed, or even that voice in your head. My resilience techniques can switch off the voice in your head. Once it's nice and still and you're feeling nice and relaxed, then you can ask it any question and 100% you'll get an accurate answer. Now, the idea is to be in constant communication with it and asking it questions all day long. I make all my decisions using this technique right here in my personal life, in business, food choices, exercise choices, lifestyle choices, anything all come from this because it connects me to purpose and it's never ever wrong. I've made so many wrong decisions in my past that I wanted to find a technique that would ensure that I know that I'm making the correct decision every time. Now, the only time it's wrong, like I said, is if your button's being pushed and you're in your ego or if you forget to ask. As long as you're in your authentic self when you ask, it's 100% correct. So practice it, start small, and then just the more you do it, the better you'll get it and you'll feel the answers. And that way, when it comes time for a big question, like you're at a fork in a road where you really need to make sure that you're making the correct decision, you'll have a track record of 100% getting correct answers every single time. So when you ask it the question on the big question at that big fork in the road, you'll know you're about to make the right decision. Practice, guys. It gets easier the more you do it. All the best and good luck with it.